I was like, shoot, you know what? I think this is the first time that I really feel like I could crash out right now. I just felt really low, and I just felt like, like I just felt so pissed, but also like defeated. Oh, I think I was just like forget F everybody. I'm just, what was the point of like trying to please people? Like I just da 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 and all these feelings that I was feeling. And this is why, I just want to move away, and forget I was just being so dramatic. So I go to the park and I'm eating my salad, trying to cool down. And then I see like there's like families there, and there's people with their dogs, and it's so wholesome. So I'm just eating and then just trying to like cool down. I think I'm like talking out loud, talking to God. And then, yeah, it was just, I started to feel my energy go down. I was also in stillness because I was in my car. So it was quiet besides just like the laughters of the kids and the dogs going, barking. Because of that moment of stillness and me talking to God in the car, I was just like, I just got clarity to just like here, like, everything's gonna be okay. This is supposed to happen for a reason. This is why you should listen to your, stop trying to people please. And you should, also this is the importance of setting boundaries and knowing your boundaries and getting the lessons from this. Then I started feeling grateful that, okay, yes, like thankfully I didn't have to do this. And now I see why all this happened, and, I could learn from this. And that is a good way to describe Pisces season, because as we'll talk about for Pisces season, it's going to be very important to be discerning of who and what you give your energy to. If you're around somebody with negative energy, if you're in an environment with negative energy, I wouldn't even say negative, but just energy that is not aligned with yours, you're going to feel it even more, and it's going to deplete you. Hi, my name is Jessica, and I am an astrologer. I am a social media consultant, and I host monthly virtual and in-person gatherings. Some of those events include moon circles. I do full moon and new moon circles, women circles. I just like to gather like-minded people together so we can learn, heal, and grow together. I find that if you're on a spiritual journey or a journey of trying to connect to your best self and live authentically and connect to your more spiritual side, I guess you would say, and that's just connecting to you. The journey is a lot easier when you have other people who are on the same mindset and who share similar gifts and who's living their authentic life and who is working on themselves externally, but most importantly internally, and really putting in the tough work to face their shadows or face their trauma or anything that's been holding them back, or has any experiences in their past or childhood or just anything. And then lastly, I have a Patreon. It's called the Healthy Girl Healing Home, and every Thursday I host a virtual meetup that is called Astro Therapy Thursdays, and that's where I will pull up your astrology chart and answer whatever question that you have that you need guidance on, and I will use your astrology chart, and a lot of times I'll pull cards too if necessary. I use oracle cards and tarot to give you guidance on whatever you're going through in your life. I really, I guess, want my readings to be actually helpful and not just like, oh, it's motivating when you hear it and then you just go back to and do the same thing. So I thought that if I created the Patreon where we hosted these weekly meetups, and you just get guided through whatever journey you're on, and you meet up every week, and it kind of holds you a little accountable. I also share like my own stuff and what I'm going through and what has to do with my chart and everything like that. It is Pisces season. I'm a little late for various reasons, but I think from now on, I really want to start doing like seasonal astrology videos, meaning like whenever the sun enters a new sign, I want to give a reading for that season. So pretty much for the full Pisces season, what should you expect? And how is Pisces season going to be affecting you? Because it affects all of us, not just people who are Pisces, okay? What do you need to focus on this Pisces season that will help you stay on the track to what you're supposed to do at this time in your life, okay? Before I officially start, I'm going to tell you how the structure is going to be. So I'm going to start off with doing what I'm going to call is a story time to set the tone, to give you a visual. We're already starting off with Pisces season language. Pisces is very visual. So does better with like visualizing, like seeing the story in their mind, dreaming it, visualizing it, imagining. I feel like any Pisces, they speak better through or understand better through like a visual, okay? Visualizing. So I just also I like to really, for my astrology, obviously there's a lot of astrologers out there. And for the longest, I've been trying to figure out like, how am I going to provide like astrology differently? And when I first started, I was just kind of like, I really feel like there's a lot of people who talk about astrology, but there's not many people who give like actual examples of what astrology looks like in real life. How does it play out in real life? What are the practical steps that you can take to use astrology to help you like navigate through your life without just getting like a talk about it, And that's why I try to like show vlogs. Like I want to start doing astrology vlogs because I don't see anybody doing astrology vlogs where they're showing their life and showing how like whatever that's happening astrologically is affecting them. What does that look like? And just certain things like that. So I thought giving a story of what I feel like is a good representation of Pisces season would be a good way to start off. Then number 2 is I'm going to talk about the significance of the sun entering into a new sign. Obviously, like we say, the sun is in the sign of Pisces now, but before it was in the sign of Pisces, it was in Aquarius. So what is the significance of the sun entering a new sign? That's just something important to know. What does the sun represent and why is it important to know what it represents, and also like whatever sign that it's entering, what does that mean? Because that means something for all of us. And then we're going to go back a little bit before we start to officially talk about Pisces season. We're going to talk about Aquarius season. We're going to reflect a little on Aquarius season, because I've learned Living Astrology by Britton LaRue. I think that's how you say it, LaRue. I love this book, and she talks about how the seasons are connected, meaning like Aquarius season is connected to Pisces season is connected, and how the seasons like work together. I love that concept because I totally agree. So I kind of want to talk about a little bit reflections of Aquarius season and how we can use whatever happened during Aquarius season in our life to connect us to the Pisces season, understanding that. And then we're going to talk about Pisces season. Okay. What to expect, all that. And then I'm going to end off with a collective reading for Pisces season. Okay. So let's get to the story. Okay, so a couple of days ago, actually it was yesterday, not a couple of days ago. It was literally yesterday. So for those who don't know, I know I say it a lot, but I don't know if there's any new people. So that's why I repeat myself for the people who's always here, because there may be new people. And I am totally attracting all the astrology nerds and lovers and like spiritual people, souls out there, to follow this page, come and see my videos. So yeah, I am a social media marketer. That's like my main job. That is like my bread and butter. Right now, like I am an astrologer, but that's kind of like part-time, and eventually I would love to get that to be, like full time at some point. But I felt like, I needed to, while I'm trying to build like my own thing, I still need to pay bills, and I need the consistency of having a a regular, like a job where I'm working for someone until like, yeah. Anyways, so that's what I'm doing. So, but the great thing about that job is I'm a social media marketer for a metaphysical business, and the owner is so sweet and generous because she has allowed me to be able to host events there. And that's how I'm able to do my in-person events, like my full moon ceremonies and my women's circles and my new moon ceremony, all that. They also do something that's called a psychic fair at the end of every month. That's where different people come to different practitioners go there and offer 20-minute sessions for people to just try it out. It's a good time. It's a good opportunity for people who've never had a reading before, astrology reading or a tarot reading, or there's different people. There's like a palm reader there. There's just different people. It's a good opportunity for people to get like a little taste of what it feels like to experience like any type of, I guess you could say, like spiritual session or something. I'm trying to move away from the word healing because I feel like I don't know. Anyways, point is, so I've been doing the psychic readings for the past couple of months, probably like 3 or 4 or 5 months. And when I first did it, I was so excited. And then, because I do like giving readings, but as I started doing them, I started to enjoy them, unfortunately, less and less. Not because I don't enjoy the readings, but because, first of all, it's only 20 minutes. And I don't do readings just because I just like them. I know that they provide so much insight that could truly impact your life. Because for the most part, it's just a breath of fresh air to validate something that has been so hidden within you, almost like a little whisper that if it's not normal for you to like trust your intuition, or maybe you're surrounded by like other people telling you that you're crazy or that, or you just are around people who will never understand or try to minimize your big goals or whatever the case may be. You will, a lot of people go through life just living unhappily because they never follow what they knew that they were meant to do. And, readings are amazing and consultations are amazing because it validates that you're not crazy. And yes, other people may not understand it because there's a lot of people who aren't living their truth. They're just doing things because they, just for so many reasons, and we're all different. But the point is, readings just give you that validation to know that what you're feeling is not crazy and you should actually you should do that thing that you've been thinking. So, that's just one of the amazing things. So anyways, but the point is, I felt like, with the 20 minutes, it just left me, it's just so much to try to give people a lot in like that little bit of time. But it was okay because I got it figured out. But the point is, the main thing, I have found that I really enjoy giving readings to people who are actually like into putting in the work. Because I really genuinely want them to like do something with that information, because I know if they do, they would get results. But you just get get different kind of people. You get a lot of people and you get different people. And people who are just skeptical, or people who are just like trying it out just for funsies, or people, it's just like a lot of energy too. So I think what I'm trying to say is I'm like going, I need to hurry up. What I'm trying to say is I feel, although I really, really enjoy the experience, I find that every time at the end of the psychic fairs, I'm left feeling so depleted. Because I just know I'm a person that's just super sensitive to energy. And so, I started to realize that once the psychic fairs started coming up again, I would like get this like heavy feeling of like, oh, I don't want to do it. but it was like conflicting because I really enjoy it. I mean, and enjoy giving the readings, but I was like, I wasn't wanting to do it because I felt like I just get overly drained by different people's energies. And because not everybody is actually like super like trying to get a reading because they're trying to better themselves, or like, it's just you get all various type of people, and some people don't have the best, I mean, I don't, it's just not. And then it's like a sampler. It's not like people are actually there to take it seriously. They're just trying it out. So there's just so many. The point is, I just felt like more depleted rather than interested in it. And so I told myself that this month I was going to not do it, because I just needed to listen to my intuition. And the owner, though, wanted me to. She asked if I could come in at least for one day. And I was torn because I knew intuitively, like in my heart, in my gut, that I didn't want to do it, but I didn't want to I felt, I didn't want to let her down because I think we didn't have that many like people reading that month, that day. And she likes to have a certain amount. So when it gets busy, there's not people like waiting for a lot. Anyways, the point is, I said yes, even though in my heart or like in my gut, intuitively, I just knew I didn't want to do it. And so when the day came, which was yesterday, oh my gosh, like, when you don't want to do something, well, at least for me, like, I just start to like I just woke up and I was just like my whole body was in resistance to getting to work. Like, I was finding all of the distractions. I was moving slow. It was like a tug and pull. I was also like, I was just like, okay, my camera died. But I just felt so heavy and so weighed down because it's like my body knew that I was going to be going there, and I wasn't. And I was just, I could just imagine all the energy that I was about to like expose myself to. Oh, and another thing, the main thing is I wasn't doing well. Like, I was going through some personal stuff, and that was already like, my energy wasn't 100%. That's the main thing. I should have started off with that. My energy wasn't 100%. And before, when I agreed to go, when the owner asked me, I didn't want to do it, but I was just like, okay, maybe I could just push through, I can just push through this one time, and then maybe, it'll be different or something. And maybe, and like I said, I'll be, doing a good deed by helping her out. And so, and obviously I get paid there too. I get paid. So then I'm like, I could always use extra money. So let me just do it. But then when I woke up that day, the day of, I wasn't doing well. It wasn't just that day, but whatever happened in my personal life happened that affected my mood like the day before. And when I woke up, I just was not feeling it. So I was already not 100%. And so I knew that that's the worst thing to do when you're giving a reading to other people, is not being good energy, and be like, cause you're like, energy is important. So the energy that I'm giving off, or the energy that I'm outputting, it's going to affect my readings. And so I know for me, because within my readings, yes, I use astrology, but I also use like oracle cards and tarot. And so I'm intuiting energy. So my energy, the point is, has to be okay, like a good in good standing for me to give the best readings, and then also to be able to hold other people's energies and emotions and feelings. And if I wasn't okay, I was going to end up putting myself in a lower place by trying to, give readings. So the point is, I just knew all of that. And like I said, I'm sensitive to energy. So I was already just like, oh my gosh, if I'm not doing okay, I just was like, I do not want to see anybody or interact with anyone because I'm such in a poopy mood. Like I can't even fake it. Like, so I just wanted to like hide away and not see anybody. And yeah. So, anyways, the point is, I ended up having to text the owner and tell her that I was late because I was delaying it and was like literally going through it was just like this heavy cloud of like, I don't want to do it. But me trying to tell myself mentally, like my whole body was telling me no, but my mind was like, but you need to do it. You made the commitment. And then, I looked up and I realized, oh, shoot, like, there's gonna like, yeah, like I was gonna be late, so I could text her anyways, I needed to like make food for myself and I was like, okay, let me at least try to make something nutritious. And anyways, the point is I was lagging and I ended up needing to tell her like I'm gonna be a little late. I hope that's okay. In my head, I was hoping like she was gonna be like, well, it didn't actually, you don't have to come, but then she was understanding about it, which is fine. But then I just was like, oh my gosh. So I was just getting a lot of signs like that I shouldn't do it, but I was still trying to push through. And then, yeah, the point is that long story short, time went by because I ended up taking a while trying to like meal prep, and there was like things that just was going wrong, like when you're like trying to get ready or rushing through stuff, and then like everything in the worst case scenarios just want to happen. Like you spill something, you make a full mess, and then you got to take time to clean that, or this happens. And so, yeah, all that was happening. And then I knew that was like life telling me like, girl, you don't go. Like you don't want to go. So, or the God, universe, all that. But anyways, the point is I ended up having to text her again and say, actually, I'm going to be, I need more time. And long story short, she just texted me. And then, okay, I was leaving finally, like I was on my way out. And I think I left something inside the house and I had to go back inside. Oh man, that's another thing, whatever. And then I finally get out the house and I'm just like, oh, like I'm just lagging. And I was going to try to pep talk myself and be like, okay, Jess, like you're going to have a good day. I try to give myself when I'm like in like these moods, I try to like give myself positive affirmations to counteract any energy that I'm having. But yeah, right as I was like texting the lady, this is the third time I text her and told her like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm on my way. Cause she had texted me and said somebody wanted a reading and they were like interested in the reading. And so there was just so much. And because I was just so delayed, this is the third time I'm texting her and finally I'm on my way. She's like, Jess, we've already had to reschedule a couple people because they wanted to, have a reading with you and you weren't here. I think it's just best if you stay home. And I was like so devastated and so crushed because of one, for so many reasons, I felt bad, really bad because I disappointed her and then the other people. But then I was like, I just did all this stuff for nothing. That was a one thing. And then I was also upset because I was like, I should have just listened to my fucking gut. Like I should have just said no. Everything that happened that morning, and there's just so much. So I just was not feeling good. Then I started feeling a whole wave of like negative energy. And I was just frustrated and I just wanted to crawl in a hole and just like I was just feeling it and going like really down. And so I decided, okay, I'm already out. Like, how about I don't know, something told me I should just go to the park. Okay, go to the park. So I went to the park. I already had like my food that I made. I had made like a salad and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I'll just go eat my salad at the park. And then I go to the park and then I just sit in my car and eat the salad. And I'm like seeing, and there's like people there. It's cold. It's a cold day too. Obviously it's winter time. And yeah, I'm just like eating my salad. I'm just like I really felt like also like when I was on my way to the park, I was just like fuming for so many reasons. fuming, but also feeling guilt and just feeling like woe is me and like I'm just the worst person and all these feelings and just so much. And then yeah, and then I just really felt like the random word crash out came in my mind because I know that's like a big popular word that people use now. I mean, that I just feel like that's like, when there's like things that are popular, crash out is like the word. And so I just felt, I was like, shoot, you know what? I think this is the first time that I really feel like I could crash out right now. Like I felt so destructive and like not a like let's be honest, we all have those low points, and not that I wasn't obviously, but you have you be feeling, you just feel like low sometimes to that point, you just, and I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying I just felt really low, and I just felt like like I just felt so pissed, but also like defeated. I don't know, there's so many things. I just felt so mad. And like, yeah, so so I'm just like, man, like thinking like, dang, yeah, I just feel like I just like a cry, like I wouldn't need to crash out. Like, oh, I think I was just like forget everybody. I'm just, what was the point of like trying to please people? Like I just da 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 and all these feelings that I was feeling. And this is why, I just want to move away, and forget it I'm just being so dramatic, okay? So yeah, I go to the park and I'm eating my salad, trying to cool down. And then I see like there's like families there and there's people with their dogs. And it's so wholesome. So I'm just eating and then just trying to like cool down. I think I'm like talking out loud, talking to God and just like, and then yeah, it was just I started to feel my energy go down. I think I was also in stillness because I was in my car, so it was quiet besides just like the laughters of the kids and the dogs going, barking. And I just felt like, okay, like I because of that moment of stillness and like snap back into reality a little bit because of me just seeing all of the wholesomeness, people outside. And I'm like, oh, wow, like this is life. I don't know. I was able to like have this clarity moment of like, everything's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Okay. And the time of me being still, I felt like, and me talking to God in the car, I was just like, I just got clarity to just like hear, like, everything's going to be okay. This is supposed to happen for a reason. This is why you should listen to your, stop trying to people please. And you should, also this is the importance of setting boundaries and knowing your boundaries and getting the lessons from this. And then then I started feeling grateful that, okay, yes, like thankfully I didn't have to do this. And now I see why all this happened and, I could learn from this. And then I was like, you know what, let me go for a walk. Like after I was like, let me get outside and just go for a walk. Like I haven't been in nature in a while. And so anyways, ended up being a great day. Okay. But the story is that is a good way to describe Pisces season because as we'll talk about, sometimes Pisces energy can struggle with, can be very sensitive of people's energies. So it's very, very, very important this time for Pisces season. It's going to be very important to be discerning of who and what you give your energy to, who you're around. Like you're gonna feel if you're around somebody with negative energy, if you're in an environment with negative energy, or just like, I wouldn't even say negative, but just energy that is not aligned with yours. you're going to feel it even more, and it's going to deplete you. It's going to be really like depleting, and it's going to make you like so like you just want to escape from it. Um and sometimes when you escape, it is important to like go and recharge, but sometimes the energy of other people's, or in the environment that you work at, or whatever is people's energy, could just be so heavy, feel so heavy on you, that you just want to stay in your like own little like disconnecting from reality through like so many things. It could be like social media, watching social media to distract yourself. Or sometimes, unfortunately, with Pisces energy, because it's connected to the 12th house, it could be like through like vices, like drinking or smoking, or sometimes like doing drugs, which isn't like, the Pisces energy can struggle, there are a lot of people who can struggle with like using substances to escape from reality, because reality is so heavy. That wasn't my experience, I mean, to that level, but I was very overwhelmed and starting to feel overwhelmed. I was already overwhelmed with what I was going through personally, that was weighing heavy on me. So I quite literally didn't have the energy to give to people, that I take my job seriously. I take my reading seriously, and a lot of people come with different things, and sometimes really heavy things, like they've experienced like death, and a death to their family members, and or just, people are going through breakups, and people with real life experiences, and I just never want to go in with my own and not be like the 100%, because I'm not taking care of myself, or I'm not 100%. So I just felt that so heavy, but then I felt torn because, I didn't want to disappoint the owner. But yeah, so I just went through this, and then like I felt like this whole, like when she said that I shouldn't come in, and it was like this guilt, and then it was like this want to escape, and to never. I did kind of say that. I said I just wanted to move away. Okay, camera died again. But yeah, I just felt like so heavy with like the whole experience, that I just, and the guilt, and just her, my owner's energy, the owner energy, because obviously we were texting, but I can still, through text, I know she was pissed or let down, or, and then the other people. So knowing how many people I disappointed, knowing that I disappointed myself by even letting myself get into this scenario, knowing that also whatever the other personal stuff that I was going through, and just feeling like such a disappointment, and all these things felt so heavy that I just wanted to escape it all, because it was too much, and that's where this crash out energy felt like came from, of like, man, then, if I disappoint this person or that person, or man, F this, then F everybody, I just want to go away type of thing. So obviously you can imagine that could obviously, like, that could be in different people's scenarios, you could result to something to help you escape that. But for, I think for me, I'm a Pisces rising, but I'm an Aquarius sun. So, and I have like other Aquarius placements, and I have a Capricorn Mercury. So for me, I do have that water, that Pisces energy, and that energy to like escape things when it feels just too heavy. But then I have the Aquarius that is like the logical part of me that thinks that way, that helps me to think out, get me out of that. And then the Capricorn Mercury too. So I think, I have the balance in my chart that helps me not get too deep into that escape part. But sometimes, yeah, I do have that. And so, yeah, so thankfully, like I said, I decided, okay, let me do something, because I could have went home and just like decided to do nothing and just sat there and just like, yeah, like scrolled on social media or just escaped the feeling of like the feelings that I felt because it just felt so heavy. But I don't know, like I said, something told me to go to the park. So I did. And I was able to take time alone because I needed that. And that's important to recharge. And then I had some time alone to like be somewhere different and get some fresh air. And then also to like talk to God, which is very Pisces energy as well. Yeah, received guidance and clarity, and then went on a walk even though it was cold, but it was a great experience. And I felt better afterwards to because I was connected to something like bigger than myself, which was God while I was in the car, but it was nature. So it helped me it brought me just clarity and like a recharge of like bringing me back. So yeah, that was my Pisces season story. So now we are going to, so the point is there's so much in that, like we've all, like everything. So now I'm going to talk about the significance of the sun. Okay. So the sun in astrology represents vitality / energy. And it's like, how much energy do you feel? Do you feel tired? Like vitality is like how, like your life energy. Do you feel tired or do you feel energized? It also represents your confidence level. And it represents how creative you feel. So that is like what the sun does. So whenever the sun enters a different sign, it pretty much is like, if you focus on these themes, you will feel the most like vital. You will have the most energy. You will be the most confident, and you will be the most creative you. But that intertwined with, because remember, we are within astrology, like we have our astrology charts, which is our internal energy. And that pretty much is, I'm gonna go back to the saying that you probably hear a lot of astrologers say, because it's the best way to interpret your astrology chart, is the moment that you were born. Imagine someone took a picture of the sky and took a picture of where the planets were. That is your astrology chart. So that's your internal energy. But then the planets continue to move, and as they move throughout different parts of your life, then every planet has like an energy that affects you in different ways. So then as the planets change, then they will affect your internal energy differently. Differently. And then it'll affect other people's energy differently. But we call that the collective energy. Where are the current planets are? Those are the transiting planets. So the point is, the sun has now transited from Aquarius to Pisces, meaning that we are all going to be feeling the energy of Pisces as a collective, but it's obviously going to affect us differently because we are all different energies. We are all, we have all different energies. Okay. But but the themes of it may be similar. Okay. Kind of going back to what I said, as far as like feeling very sensitive to other people's energies, especially energies that do not align with you, or just like affected by just people in general, like what's happening in the world or people you're around. You may really start to feel other people's energies, and then it could just be so heavy on you that you just can't even, like, you want to just go away. You need to just go away because it's just really affecting you. Not go away, but meaning like take time away from it. Escape into your, like I like to call, like your cave, and just disconnect from the world, because the world, and that we'll talk about like the world in itself. I mean, obviously, there's been a lot. We've been, there's a lot of heavy stuff that's been happening in this country. So that may be even weighing on us so much. Or any events that come up during Pisces season. So that is what I mean by the sun being in Pisces. Okay. So we would do best right now identifying to Pisces energy um, or leaning into the Pisces energy. And then also it'll help knowing about the sun will help you to be able to, so as an astrologer, I will tell you that you can get more information, more detailed information on how this Pisces season will affect you personally by looking at where Pisces is in your chart. Okay. So that's like a little cheat sheet. And this Thursday, for our first Astrotherapy Thursdays, I will be pulling up charts and I'll be talking about not only the new moon in Pisces and how, well, obviously, yeah, it's still in Pisces. So I'll talk to you about where in your life do you have the Pisces energy. Is it in your love life? Is it in your career? Is it in your health? Is it in whatever? And show you like how is it going to be affecting you for this next month. And then also talk about what new things are going to be happening in your life because of the new moon. Whew, okay, I had to go. My SD card got full. Oh, the behind the scenes of filming. But this video is already long. Oh, come on. Oh my gosh. Already. And then I ended up having to go and look at the video. I've looked at the video so far and I was like, oh my gosh, this whole video is already giving Pisces season energy. I mean, my space looks so messy. It's giving Pisces. I'm sorry, but another theme of Pisces, people with heavy Pisces energies are just messy. And let me know. Be honest. And it's only because like, you always hear like people who are creative are just usually not very organized, or usually very messy. And yeah, because like when you're always up here in the clouds and in dream world and fantasy world and like dreaming of the next major creative creation and all these in romance land and just all this stuff, you don't got time. It seems so like energy. It seems like it takes so much energy to like clean, or you just don't be like making the time for it, or it just feels so exhausting. Honestly, that's another thing about Pisces energy. Like, do you just feel exhausted to do everything that doesn't have to do with anything creative or spiritual? Like, I know I for sure do. Anyways, and yeah, and then that made me think of like I just can't stop going out. That made me think of like I need to know, and I really need to know this question. Is there any Pisces out there that actually work like a corporate job or a regular like a job that like a construction job or like a job that requires like actual like guidelines and like hard work? Is there? I really would love to know. And then I'm sure there are, and I'm sure that Pisces person has a lot of earth in their chart or anything like that. Or just other stuff, fire maybe. But like I just feel like if you're a Pisces, you have to be doing something creative. How do you like? Because I already know how I am as a Pisces rising. Like I could be like I could live life in the clouds. Like I could live in just creative. I don't know. It's just, and this is why I struggle with like having a regular job, like or like working for somebody. And I think that's another Aquarius in me. But it's like I just truly have had to realize that I just need to be in jobs where I can be creative. That's it. Like I just am here to create, and I've struggled with like, is that a gift that's enough? Because you see people who are actually doing like real hard labor things, and it makes you feel guilty because you're just a creative person. But also it's not about creative. It's like you're there to also like use your like spiritual gifts. Like everybody has their gifts, but like to also like help bring like healing, help others heal themselves through. And there's so much other stuff besides creative. Okay, obviously. There's like the deeper stuff and like really helping others in need and having the compassion to do all that and everything. So anyways, all right, I'm already getting into like stuff about Pisces energy, but I really need to know that. But also I just want to know, if you're a Pisces, what is your job? Please enter that right here. I need it in the comments. Let's see how many jobs are like, what is the average Pisces person job? I have to say, you either are some type of artist, musician, you do something creative, you do something with fashion, or you do something like you're helping people and like people who are going through like things, or maybe you're a nurse or anything around that. You just have to, like, I just can't see Pisces people like working like a job on the computer or office or just anything like that. I definitely, I know there's some out there, but heavy Pisces people, I just don't see it. Let's go back a little bit to Aquarius season, okay? So let's actually go back to Capricorn season. Bear with me. So at the beginning of this year in Capricorn season, and I did a video, actually, I posted a video of an Aquarius season video where I talked about Aquarius season and what to expect and blah blah blah. I did the same thing but I posted it on my Healthy Girl Healing channel, and I just kind of I decided that I wanted to really commit to posting on Just Creations, even though I still have that Healthy Girl Healing channel. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll do something with it, but at this point I'm just trying to, I have some ideas, but anyways, the point is this is very Pisces Mercury too. I'm just like rambling, and I feel like those who get it will get it, and then those who just are here for astrology, like efficiency, like any people who are looking for efficiency, you probably clicked out by now. But people who are on that Pisces energy, we probably right here. Like, I see you, we right here, But yeah, this is very Pisces Mercury, just rambling on and on about stuff and not having no type of structure. Anyways, it's just funny. Oh my gosh, it's so fun to be an astrologer, because you just really like go through life and be like, oh, that's so Capricorn Mercury. Oh, that's so retrograde and da 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 da. Oh, that's so, you just have these thoughts. Any other people who's into astrology or astrologers? All right. Oh, I swear I'm sober. Okay. I feel like as a Pisces rising, you don't need any substance. Like, I'm already like naturally like a high looking person, and I don't even need that. I already be sleepy and all these things. Okay, I'm really veering off. Okay, calm down, you're enjoying this too much. Okay, so going back to Capricorn season. So Capricorn season is all about like planning, goal setting, thinking about our career, creating some structure in our life, and very heavy on like placing boundaries on like also like, because Capricorn energy is like, sometimes you don't, you can be workaholics, but don't like take care of yourself or make the time to, or whatever. So the biggest thing was at the beginning of this year, a lot of us probably was kind of planning or thinking about some goals that we wanted to set for ourselves. Or maybe we needed to create structure in our life, like reorganize ourselves, because it's the beginning of the year, and, we just came from New Year's and we were partying and blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, all right, it's a new year. Like, let me like get my life in order. Let me like decide, set some goals for myself. Let me like, do my schedule. So you were like in like plan mode probably in the beginning of the year, or just at least kind of have an idea of like, all right, it's a new year. Like, let me try to structure my life a little bit and like focus on my goals a little bit. Then you enter Aquarius season, and Aquarius season is about like community, the collective, like people talking, sharing ideas. So then you probably was like, all right, everybody went back to work, because that's another Capricorn thing, at the beginning, after the festivities, it's time to go back to work. Time to think about your goals. It's a new year. But then you're like, all right, now I actually want to like, I hung out with my family during the holiday season. Oh my gosh, this is like freaking out here. So are we going to just minimize that? Because my laptop, I've dropped it multiple times. We're just ignore that. But yeah, so, holidays usually with your family for a lot of the times in December, or people like family. Then January comes, go back to work. Then you start to realize, oh, I haven't, spent time with friends. Like maybe I need to go see some friends, or Or maybe I need to make, I'm feeling like you may have wanted to like make more friends, or think about, oh, maybe I don't have any friends and I want to get myself out there. So you probably, or if you maybe you were thinking more about friends or connecting, and that could be like even social media, maybe being on social media more, talking with other people through social media, but also talking period, because it was Aquarius season. So it's like sharing ideas and like communicating more as well, stuff like that. Okay, you may have had these feelings, new ideas that you had for yourself. So when you did the planning, but then you're like, okay, now I'm starting to think like, okay, I want to do this. What do other people think? Or just I don't know. Like you may have had an urge to connect with friends, or make more friends, or make friends, period, or talk more to people, or be in group settings, or just had new ideas about something, or maybe drawn to social media, started social media, just any of these themes. And maybe just have more conversations with people as well. So anyway, something around that. Okay. And obviously there's a lot going on. So, with Aquarius season, with Aquarius season, you can like worry too. Because be very much in your mind, overthinking things, all of that. So then we go to Pisces season. Okay. So Pisces is all about, it's right before Aries season. Aries season is all about, it's like the official start to, if we're thinking astrologically, it is the official New Year's day. Like when Aries season, because, that's when spring starts. And we, if we think of the seasons, usually during the winter time, it's the time for you to like hibernate and like chill and like recharge, and you don't really have that much energy to like do stuff. And then, spring starts, you start to get more energy. The sun comes out, blah, blah, blah. Animals are out of hibernation. We start feeling more energized. Things start happening. Graduations. Is that when graduation starts? Just things starts flowing. People getting ready for the summer, all that stuff. Energy comes up. So, but before that, we are in this Pisces season. Pisces rules the 12th house. The 12th house is about loss. It's about hidden life. It's about shadow stuff. And it could just be like stuff that is about like people, like what would you call them? Like, let's just say like private life, private space. Sometimes it's connected to jails or hospitals, or just like just things that is like, when you think of hospitals or jails, those are like hidden, like those are not out and exposed. There's a lot that goes on behind that, but you don't like hear about, you don't really see in that life. It's more hidden. But there's also like a lot of people doing a lot of work, but you don't really see that, if that makes sense. So like people who are going through like things, but it's more like private. So anyway, but the biggest theme I think is it's also like I like to call it like your cave. It's where you go to escape and recharge, and sometimes to recharge, because you need some time to disconnect from reality. So you go in your cave, and the healthy time thing is to go in there and just like, okay, recharge, have your hermit time, really disconnect yourself, do something healing, for yourself. That's another, like the house of healing. So do your meditation, do your yoga, do your breath work. It would be a really good time to get like a healing session, some chakra balancing, some energy healing, or anything like that. But sometimes for a lot of people, it could be like escape world, like so much stuff that could be happening in the world around Pisces season. And sometimes because Pisces season is linked to loss, in astrology, sometimes as astrologers, we notice that during Pisces season, there is usually more loss happening, which kind of, unfortunately makes sense sometimes, or maybe like the feeling of loss. Cause I think Pisces season and Scorpio season, because both are tied to like Scorpio season is tied to like the 8th house, which represents death, but then 12th house is also loss. So it could be like loss, like people passing over, because it's the 12th house, so it's the last house of like, yeah, like whatever's at the end of its cycle is gonna pass over, it's gonna be like completed. So that could come with like loss, but it could also be more of the feeling of loss. More so like whatever, this is the official time before we really start the official New Year's come spring, the summer solstice or the spring solstice, Aries season, where we really start to realize, all right, what really in the last year do we just we're done with, we're done with this cycle, and we're feeling the loss of that. Or, I often feel like sometimes, yeah, you kind of reflect or things come back from whatever, and you just feel the weight of it, of like it shedding, or once again, things may be happening in the world where you just start to feel it like heavily, and it may have this energy of like a loss of something, and maybe we just may be feeling it on a heavier level because at this time we are all more sensitive to energy. So that's the energy of the people in our life, the energy of the places we are exposed to, meaning work, the energy of things on social media, the energy of the things in the world. We just may just be more sensitive to those things. And traits could be like a feeling of overwhelm, a feeling of needing to disconnect, not be on social media as much, not be watching the news as much, just feeling heavy. This would be also a good time to, maybe like do more like charity work, giving, helping others in need, having more compassion for people too. That's a big thing. Wanting to help, but also having to be like maybe feeling overwhelmed because you just want to help, but there's just so much happening, and and you wish you can help more or help more people, but you only have such a capacity to, and because you still have to make sure you're taking care of yourself. So like, so there's so much. You can't help others if you're depleted, so it's just, so we may just be feeling this like feelings of loss. And if we are experiencing like whatever these feelings, it just also may be like, when we think of shadow stuff too, this is also going to be the time, because Pisces season is connected to 12th house, and the 12th house I said has to do with shadows, but I mean shadows meaning like the untangible things. And that has to do with like anxiety, depression, fear, just things that like weigh on us heavy subconsciously sometimes, that we don't really like, we can't see it, like even like even like grief or anything that feels like, oh, like we can just feel it on an energy wise. It may make us feel tired. It may make us be stuck. We just can't move or do anything. We're complacent because we're just like blocked by this. It's not a physical thing, but it's something that we're feeling in our mind or in our energy. So we may feel that in different areas, and have to, instead of escaping, we may need to retreat and meditate, or have some like Zen moment, maybe talk to God, maybe do whatever that resonates with you. Maybe listen to music. This is another thing, like music during Pisces season is so can be healing, but you have to also be careful of the kind of music you're listening to, because it could affect how you feel. It could amplify what you're already feeling. So it's good to listen to like music that's very high vibrational during this time to help you, uplift you when, but if you're listening to like music that is not high vibrational, that's very like dark or like angry, you're really going to feel that, as well. So So yeah, so those are like the themes. Also being more sensitive, like I said. Also, did I get everything? Yeah. Also, this will be a good time to do like artsy stuff too, to be creative. And through music. Like for me as a Pisces rising, like I gain my most creative, like I feel when I'm not feeling creative, if I listen to music, like there's just I start to get lost in the music, and then I start to like embody myself like in a music video, and then it starts to like get my creative juices flowing. So yeah, that would be like a good thing to like really think about, like what energy are you trying to get to, and listening to music that provides you with that energy. Like your favorite artist that you just like look up to, and you just want, like they motivate you, and you just want to like listen to them so you can kind of get in their vibration, so then you're able to be like more creative, or be able to do whatever you need to do that you may be feeling like resistance for some reason. um so yeah, I think I got that sensitive, art, creative, 12th house themes, loss, needing to escape. You needed to take some time to escape, but not like staying there, and also not using like vices to disconnect. But maybe instead choosing to do like more like healthy things, like meditating, yoga, listening to high vibrational music, playing singing bowls, or going to like this would be a good time to go to like a metaphysical shop, a crystal store, go to some event that is more like spiritually connected, or watch something on YouTube. Like, there's like guided meditations, like, doing your spiritual practice if you're a more spiritual person and you want to, or maybe like going to get a crystal like that. This would be a amazing time to go get a crystal, or learn, so that's why I say like take a trip to a metaphysical store near you, and just know, I promise you, you're gonna, okay, I'm not gonna promise you because I want you to hold me accountable, but if you're very open-minded to it, you're gonna get something out of it. Okay. um or you could also join Healthy Girl Healing Home virtually, that you don't have to leave your house, and experience astrotherapy Thursdays with us, or go to a women's circle, or and if, like I said, if you join, you'll experience what astrology reading is for the first time if you've never done it before, or maybe you'll get my experience. And yeah, and so just like doing that. Also, the biggest thing of Pisces season is like connecting to something that's bigger than you. So this will just be a really good time to connect to something bigger. For me, I believe in God, and I also believe in my spirit team, but we all have other beliefs. A lot of people just believe in the universe, but whatever that bigger thing is, something outside of yourself, will be good. And or using like tools that help you to connect to your intuition, following and trusting your intuition too, and also just having faith. That's another thing, just having faith in something bigger than yourself. And then also we have to think that this is kind of extra astrology, but just knowing, let me just throw it out there, that the North Node is in Pisces right now. So for this whole year up until next year, the collective energy is all about moving away from the Virgo South Node, which is about letting go of control and having trust in the unknown through faith in a higher power, or in something bigger than ourselves, a higher power. So a lot of us are going to have to really be okay with not knowing the details, be okay with not being in control, and really connecting to trusting, and having faith in a God, having faith in the universe, having faith in whatever you identify with, even faith in like yourself, your intuition to guide you to where you need to do, but that means you need to connect to it. So having more time alone, having more time in nature, connecting to people who can help guide you to connecting to yourself, because you think it's so easy to connect to yourself, but unfortunately we haven't been taught to do that. We've been taught the quite opposite, so it's like having to learn, like, how do I connect to myself, and then when I connect to myself, how do I trust myself, and all these things. So yeah, that is the goal of Pisces season. I've been talking for a lot. I feel like obviously I can continue talking about I can just go on for hours about every sign, but I think and I hope I'm and then also like having an unconditional love, but that has to do with compassion too. Being discerning of who you give your energy to, knowing that you need to really be careful of just who you're surrounding yourself with, and needing to have discernment of who you're around, and like what you're listening to, and also setting boundaries. Okay, because Saturn is in Pisces, we're all going to be feeling this energy of needing to set boundaries, very much so. And I remember like it's not just for like are already the people who have Saturn, who are going through the Saturn return. We know, we've been feeling it. But because Pisces is now in this, like, we're in Pisces season, and Saturn is in Pisces and Neptune is in Pisces, that means everybody's going to be affected by Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces and the North Node in Pisces. So we're just all going to be feeling this Pisces energy. But then people who are already have it in their chart, obviously going to feel it heavier. But we're not used to it because everything has been in freaking Pisces for so long. I mean, I'm just like, dang, can the Pisces people, can we live? And then they got the nerves to have to be retrograding. Like, I didn't even know this because I don't like to like look too far out into astrology, because I try to like to use astrology in like the most healthy form for me personally. And I don't need to know what's happening 2-3 years. Like, I just try to be present and learn, like, kind of have an idea. But I just, had to like go and look at the chart this year because I want to travel. And I was just trying to look at like what's the best time. And then I realized that Pisces is literally going to be retrograding, because I'm so happy. I've been so excited. I mean, just for me personally, for Pisces to get out of freaking Saturn, or Saturn to get out of Pisces and go into Aries, even though that's my moon. So I'm like, oh my fucking gosh, like bro, but anyways, at least it won't be in Pisces in my first house. I don't know how excited I am about it being in my second house of money. Like, that's not fun, but I know needed and blah blah blah. But but I was excited, and then I realized that Saturn is going to be retrograding back into Pisces later this year. So I was like, you know what, man, I better just get comfortable with life, just lifing, Anyways, all right. So now we're gonna come. Finally, I've been talking for so long. Let's pull a card. Let's just see what card come out, and we're not gonna do a long reading because this has already been a long video. So 1 second. Calling all spiritual astrology wellness girlies. I finally did it. I have a Patreon now. I also host virtual women's circles on there as well. And that's just pretty much just a safe space to share our feelings and our emotions, release our feelings and our emotions. It's just holding space for, as women, for us to just be vulnerable and express ourselves in a safe space. I know I keep saying that, but that's just really important. A lot of us don't have that. And then I also like to connect everything back to astrology, and I like to do a group reading, and it's just it feels like the experience feels like a warm hug. And then we also do like girls' night, and we play like little games, and hopefully find your future friend, if anything, or just like learn and grow and be able to like have a space just to have your voice to be heard, and just to feel less alone in this world. And then lastly, I have been working on posting my website, because I had a website that but anyways, long story short, I'm gonna be reposting that sometime in March. But in the meantime, I thought it would be fun as a little promo for my Patreon. From now until my website is completely finished because I want to create the website just so I have a more professional place to to market for you guys to book readings. It's just easier rather than Patreon, and I just feel like it's more professional. And I want to start running ads and being doing what I do for other businesses for myself. But I found that I've been holding back on it because I don't have an official website. And there's just so many things. Point is, I thought until I do that, whoever follows the Patreon will get a free astrology reading. I currently have one member, and I just gave her a reading I think earlier this week. It's Sunday now. So yeah, I gave her her reading earlier this week. It went amazing. This coming Thursday is going to be the new moon in Pisces, and I'm going to be hosting the first Astro Therapy Thursdays. It's going to be at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, and it's going to be for the people who are Patreon members. And I'm going to be talking about how the new moon is going to be affecting you according to your astrology chart. So we'll pull up your astrology chart. I'll give you a little new moon reading, and then, you'll know. So, so if you would like to be included in that, follow the Patreon. The link is in the description box below. Become a member. You won't regret it. It's one of the best decisions that you could do. Okay, so we got 4 cards. The oracle card that we have, seek solitude, 12th house. We are going to need to do some unplugging during Pisces season. It'll be helpful if you actually want to utilize, because everybody has free will to do whatever they want, even if it's not really the best for them, but it will be very helpful to maybe be on social media less, or take time to disconnect more and just go into your little cave, whatever that looks like for you, and have time of just stillness. And you can listen to music, but just maybe meditating, doing that. I mean, maybe, having some time, taking more time and being more, intentional about it. So that means even if you take an hour every day, or, maybe in the mornings when you wake up, instead of going on your phone, you take an hour to do your spiritual practice, or do something, or just to listen, just to meditate, or, doing something that's disconnecting yourself from the outside, the world, other people. Having some time, taking time with yourself will be really good for you this season. It'll make you feel the most vital, the more energized, more like you. Because when you're feeling depleted, you're gonna be low in energy, like how it was earlier this in the story, how I just felt so just not good and heavy, and also unmotivated to do anything. And then when I decided to, well, I didn't decide to, but when the owner just told me, listen, don't come in, and then I decided to go to the park and do something for myself. I was able to seek solitude. I was able to have time alone and to recharge. And I went for a walk, and I was in my car, and I was just away. I was even away from home, you know? And sometimes being away from home is important for me too, because like I love my boyfriend, but my boyfriend lives here too and he works from home. So like, and because I'm a Pisces rising, I can feel my boyfriend's energy. Anybody else who are like super sensitive to energy, you could feel the energy of whoever you live around, whether they're like, even if they're in a different part of the house, sometimes you just, so it may just be important for you to like get out the house, if you have people that's in your house, and just have time by yourself, I'm not saying that everybody, you can even have people who has good energy in the house, obviously, like, but you just need to get alone. You need to have some time alone to be in your own space. So having time to take some time alone. And then we have for the tarot, we have King of Pentacles. We have Page of Swords. And then we have the Fool card, which I'm going to assume, like it came like this, which always makes me feel like, is it upright or is it not? So we don't know. I'm just going to say upright, even though it came like this. But all right, so I'm gonna give you a general reading of what that means. 1 second. Like when you're at the Fool stage, you kind of just maybe feel uncertain. There's this uncertainty, and it almost reminds me of like, because there's like the Ace of Wands or something. The Ace card makes me think of like Aries season, like new beginnings. But when you're at the Fool, you're at this place of like, you don't know, and that something new is about to start, or there's gonna be like some new fresh starts happening. But you're at that stage of like knowing, like you don't know, but you know what you want to do, but you don't know. You feel like an amateur. You feel like a fool, because you're just kind of like, I don't really know. I'm not sure, kind of thing. Or you may not just be sure, but there is a new energy coming. Obviously, like once again, so also this kind of makes me think of like Mars just freaking finally is not retrograded anymore. So these feelings that you may have been feeling internally for the past whatever, all of this year, or just like desire to do, but maybe not having the energy to, working through some feelings, maybe things that you've been suppressing, any emotions, just anything like that. You may start to feel it, like you may start to have a little bit more energy to like do something about that. Maybe there's a project that you've wanted to start, or maybe there's a conversation that you needed to have, or maybe a boundary you needed to set, or just so many things you maybe that you've been feeling. Think about that, and maybe like you've been wanting to do it, or maybe you've been putting in a little effort, or just been working through some things. Just know that like you're gonna have more energy to like act on. I mean, like be a little bit more productive, even though it's still in Cancer, and Cancer can be like kind of like you go through waves of productivity, feeling like you at one point you may have this surge of energy, and then a couple of hours later you may just want to take a nap, like you just don't have the energy. So you kind of may go through these, and then you may be a little bit frustrated if you hit like little blocks too, or just like there's just so many things. So like emotional blocks or just anything. So the emotions can be kind of like everywhere when it comes to like Mars and Cancer, but sometimes you just need a nap. And I just feel like this whole energy is like sleepy energy, because you have Pisces, which is already like connected to the 12th house, which is connected to dreams. I forgot to mention that earlier. Dreams. Yeah. Dreams. Pay attention to your dreams, people, that you're going to be having. I feel like I did a post about that. Pay attention to your dreams. You may be having more dreams. They may be more vivid. Really like try to, may really disconnect before you go to sleep. Have a really good sleep routine that you do. Maybe the hour before bed, do not, no phones, maybe do your self-care, drink you some tea, read, and get yourself in like good energy before you go to sleep. So you can have fully a good rest. And anyways, I'm just rambling really today. I feel like it's gonna be like 2 freaking hours long. But yeah, so that, and what I was gonna say. Oh, but with this Mars in Cancer, you just, Cancer is already like home and comfort, bed, all that. So you just may feel a little bit more sleepier, but you may have surges of energy, but then you may just feel more tired. That's why I say like listening to high vibrational music or uplifting music, motivating music, whatever would be good. Or like getting a crystal, going to a metaphysical store, whatever, doing some art, creative expression, all of that. Taking some time, seeking some solitude. Okay, so, but then we have the King of Pentacles. I know Pentacles have to do with like money and resources, values. And then Swords has to do with your mind. So let's see. So the Fool card represents new beginnings, leaps of faith, spontaneity, and embracing the unknown. So this could suggest a fresh start or a significant shift affecting us in different ways. And it could have to affect us, but it could also affect like the collective, the world too. It could also indicate a sense of excitement or also uncertainty, feeling uncertain about the future. You also may be feeling like this new energy of like feeling like there's a new potential and possibilities, but also needing to have caution because sometimes the Fool can indicate like being naive. And I think that's sometimes that ties to the feeling of like the like the thing with Pisces that I didn't talk about is like being delusional, like having to deal with like having to be careful of this like delusional mindset, because you can be so in dream world and like have these so ideas, but they're not like practical. They can be like too dreamy, too delulu, that you're not being practical with it. Or you may be liking them, but you love the idea of the dream world and to dreaming, but maybe you're not actually putting things to action, which sometimes Pisces energy could struggle with too. They're so good at coming up with creative and dreaming things, dreaming their dream life, but when it comes to actually doing it, once again, sometimes Pisces energy can be so overwhelmed with it that you may just like, it may feel better to just dream it and maybe not do it, because it may just feel so exhausting, I would say. Yeah, that's another thing, the energy of like doing the thing. But yeah, you could also be overwhelmed. So you just may be a little delulu, maybe being careful of that. And then just also not just with the things we want to do, with the people in our life too, Okay, so then we got to King of Pentacles, which represents stability, security, material abundance, and practical wisdom. So this could suggest the presence of established structures, resources, or leadership of some sort. It could indicate a focus on finances, security, or building a solid foundation for ourselves. Okay. That's interesting. I'm trying to think of where that could be coming from. What do we have? Let me think. Would that be that could be the Mars in Cancer, because Cancer is all about like security as well. And definitely Cancer likes to build, like, it is connected to the fourth house. So it needs to it wants us to create some structure and on our foundations, so there could be security, and that could be tied to like finances as well. Then we have Uranus and Taurus as well. So okay. This also could be like I said, it could also speak to a desire for stability in the presence of people or systems that provide it. It can also point to the need to be grounded and practical. And then the Page of Swords represents intellectual curiosity, communication, observation, and mental agility. Okay, so this could suggest a need for clear communication, critical thinking, and gathering information. It could also indicate a period of learning, analysis, or potential conflict. So this could also warn us to be aware of the words that are being used and to be ready to defend your ideas. It could also mean that there is new information coming to light. Okay. So putting all the cards together, there could be a new direction with existing resources. So the Fool's card energy suggests a new path or opportunity is emerging for the collective, for us as a collective. The King of Pentacles indicates that this new direction will likely involve existing resources, structures, or financial stability. It is not a total abandonment of what has been built. That makes me interested to know what that means for us collectively. But also thinking about like, it shows like we've maybe been working on something in the past, and that could make me think of the Mars. And maybe we've had to figure out a new direction because of it maybe not working, or maybe like in the beginning of this year we decided to start something, and then now we're like, okay, this and this has worked out, this hasn't, let me approach this differently. So we could be still working on something that we wanted to do in the beginning, but maybe we're having more energy and drive to do it, and maybe realizing maybe we need to do it in a different way. That could be how it shows up in our own personal lives. But you know what? I'm just like trying to keep it clean. Not, oh my gosh, this is like, when you try to look cute and then your outfit is just not practical. And you just have like, I'm trying not to expose myself around here. And then like, there's just so many things. And I'm like wearing this super low cut skirt, and my like, it's just, anyways, there's just so much going on over here. Okay, so, yeah, so next thing is the need for discernment. Pisces energy, for sure. The Page of Swords highlights the importance of careful communication and critical thinking. Careful communication with others and critical thinking. The collective, us, we may need to navigate complex information, resolve conflicts, or make important decisions of some sort. So you may be having to deal with some of those around Pisces season. But just having discernment of how you communicate, and communicating carefully, and really having like really critical thinking, which makes me think of this Pisces and Mercury, because yeah, it can struggle with, like I said, the structure that's needed sometimes. Okay, balancing spontaneity and stability. There's a tension between the Fool's impulsive energy and the King of Pentacles' desire for stability. Oh, okay. The collective, us, will need to find a balance between embracing new opportunities and maintaining a solid foundation. Okay. Communication is key. The Page of Swords makes it very clear that communication and the way information is handled is going to be a very important factor in how we move forward as a collective. Yeah. Also, I forgot about the Jupiter. Dang, the Jupiter in Gemini too. That's a big thing. So that makes me think of, I'm not really saying much. This is just like this is interesting to know. And then, next month when we do this and we reflect back, we can kind of think about how this showed up. But yeah, that part about the Page of Swords makes it very clear that communication and the way information is handled is going to be a very important factor in how we move forward. That makes me think of us as a collective, and how there's so much information coming out there, and then you have to be discerning of what is real, what is not. And then also like just with what the changes we've been having in the world, and as new information comes out, how do we handle that? How do we react to it? What is the best way to do that? or what is the less practical way? Like if you're just gonna like flip out over it and just start to like just go ham and crazy, or are we gonna think of practical ways that we can actually utilize our information to make changes in this world, as we're obviously going through like what we're going through, as you know, in America, you know, as far as the shifts. But are we gonna freak out and act impulsively, or are we gonna take a moment to like think critically in a way that could actually provide a change, and not just add more fuel to the fire? Understandably so, because obviously there's so much happening. It's normal to have an emotional reaction to it, but not acting on those emotions. You can release, cry, vent to people, but don't act impulsively, because I know that's not going to be good. It's just going to worsen things. And yes, easier said than done, but that makes me think of the Mars and Cancer, because sometimes with Mars and Cancer, you could like act impulsively and realize like, oh shoot, like I have a lot of big emotions and I just snapped. And then and then you're like, oh, actually I probably should have like thought that through first, or not like let my emotions get the best of me, because now I just created a bigger problem. So the next thing is potential for growth. And this is a promising combination, suggesting the potential for significant growth and progress. However, it requires careful planning, clear communication, and a willingness to embrace change while remaining grounded. Wow. And now, what? This is crazy. Okay, I'm using AI, guys. This is my cheat sheet. I'm using AI to give me a more detailed information about the reading about the cards that I just pulled. That is a secret of mine. Okay, I'm gonna just put it out there. The secret's out. You could. It's a good way if you're using tarot cards, because tarot is different than oracle. Oracle is more intuitive based. Tarot is more. It already has meaning. So instead of using the book or learning about tarot, you should just AI is so great. AI is okay. Goodness gracious, I need to hurry up. This is like so long of a reading. Okay, but anyways, I love to use AI. Okay, you guys should try it out. It's amazing. It gives you a lot more information. But it even gave me possible scenarios that could come from this reading, which is like, I never saw this before, but let's just play around with it. It says a new project or initiative may be launched within an established organization. Okay. I don't know. Something gonna come out. In this, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. The collective is facing a period of change that requires both innovation and stability. Okay. There's a need for open and honest communication to resolve conflicts or navigate new challenges. And what the fudge? Then it says another thing could be a new leader or new information could be coming into the collective. Okay. That is interesting. Let's just take the last things with a grain of salt. That was just interesting to see. But, these like little AI tarot readings are just, or I don't want to call them AI tarot readings because I still intuit the cards here, okay? I'm utilizing the times that we're in to give more detailed information on the tarot cards only, because the tarot cards already have their own meaning. So, anyways, so yeah, oracle cards are different. Oracle cards, when I pull them, I'm just kind of saying, like, obviously they have a thing, they'll say a name, but then intuitively, I'll just kind of talk about how. Anyways, the point is, that is your reading. That's the reading for Pisces season. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. This was a freaking long video. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for it to be this long. I was thinking, maybe from now on, I could do these live. So then after I could just repost the live, because This just feels like a bitchcc what bitch to have to edit. I honestly just want to post these videos. I think I may post it without editing them because this is the most authentic version, and I want these to be authentic, what comes to me. Because I already set the tone for whatever I say in this video needs to be kind of, is the message for you guys. So I have to just trust the message, and I can't edit. If I'm editing it, I'm not trusting it, right? So you guys are just gonna have to pull through the fluff and hope that this gives you something. I know it will, though. So pay attention for the next month while we're in Pisces season. See if any of these themes come up for you. And then it'll be cool if you want to share it with me or just making mental notes, just know. But yeah. All right, lastly, I just want to say, remember this Thursday, February 27th, I will be doing the first ever Astrotherapy Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern time via Zoom. And if you want to sign up for that, you have to become a Patreon member. And then also when you become a Patreon member for this short time period, if anyone who becomes a member will get automatically a free astrology reading. We'll set up a time for that, but then also every week we will do these check-ins and where you can kind of get more guidance as you are going along on your journey, and then you are with a bunch of other like-minded people, and just also you get to hear more like me talk a little bit more personal about my chart. Comment below your mood with an emoji. I need to know how everybody's mood is, and that's kind of giving off this Pisces season, which is about visual expression. So use an emoji instead of words to describe how you feel. I will put my emoji up here somewhere in the video, maybe, or in the description box below. I'll start in the description box below. Okay. So yeah. All right. I'm definitely now depleted after this video. I enjoyed doing this video. I depleted myself from talking so much, but it's okay. Cheers to Mars being effing out of retrograde, thank freaking goodness, and cheers to Pisces season. Yeah, see you guys in the next video. Much love.